Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, we will dive into one of the most fundamental concurrency patterns in Rust, the single producer, the single consumer model, also known as SPSC. So if you're preparing for interviews or just want to get better at system programming in Rust, this one is for you. So now we will watch an animation together to see what does this pattern means. So what is SPSC? It's a communication model where one thread is responsible for producing the data and another thread is responsible for consuming it. Think of it as like a conveyor belt. One worker puts the item on and another worker takes them off. So you can see that producer is producing this small boxes and consumer is consuming it. Let's write a code for it. And if you have any questions during the code or about this animation, you can always write in the comment section. So we are going to use most fundamental concept of Rust called threads, and everything in this video is including in the std, so we don't have to add additional crate. Okay, so what we are going to use, so first thing we are going to use from std sync library called mpsc. So mpsc is actually called multiple producer single consumer, and we are going to create channel with the help of mpsc, and you will see the use of mpsc in the further videos as well. So use std called thread and then use std time and then duration. So these are the three libraries we are going to use. Now the first thing, in the main function we have to create the channel. Now the channel has two things. It has transmitter and the receiver part of it. So what we are going to use, mpsc, and we are going to use channel, and this will basically return you a channel, and it says that okay, so it does says that and you don't know what are the basically the pattern of receiver and the consumer, but you will know in a bit, and your compiler will then be able to figure out. So let's create our producer thread. So when we create our producer thread, we are going to use the thread library to spawn a new thread. So we are going to do thread spawn, and now basically we are going to write kind of an anonymous function. The first thing we are going to do is move, then we write our closure, and then we will write our function. In this function, basically we are going to produce like 1 till 5. I forgot the I. So I have written a loop in which we are going to produce till I in 5, and we are going to always, whenever we go to produce anything, we are going to write that println producing I. Okay, and then tx.send, I'm going to send, basically transmit it, and as this is basically this will return an error, we are going to use the unwrap to consider that okay, everything is fine, and then our thread is going to sleep for some duration, and this is why we are using the duration one. So we are going to use duration from millis, let's say 500 milliseconds. Okay, perfect. This we are done, and this we close. Now you see, you automatically know the sender and receiver has been compiled that it is going to use the I32, and the receiver is also going to use the I32. It says syntax error r curly, looks fine to me. We will figure it out later if there is another issue, but I don't think there's an issue here. Okay, so now the thing is, you obviously missed one of the curly braces of the main, and that's why maybe it was showing the error. Now we have to create a consumer thread. Consumer thread is basically will be same as kind of the producer thread, but we don't poll it. We don't poll the queue. We just wait for our receiver queue to get something, and then we just print it. So we say consumr, and here we spawn a thread again, and then we write move our closure. There's something wrong with my keyboard. I have to use this keyboard, and that's this brackets. Okay, now what we do is like while let okay value is equal to Rx dot receive, and we'll say println consumed value. So what we are saying, whatever Rx dot receive is giving us, if the value is basically okay, and we will go till we are receiving the value, and then basically we end it. And here we just need to put a semicolon here, and this is how basically we are going to write. Now, if you have seen my okay should be on the capital, you should know this. And if you know about a bit of Rust, okay we use for basically taking the correct value. Okay, now this is fine. And then what cannot find, why it is not able to find okay? It should be able to find okay. Maybe there is some other error. Then let me see. Let okay, then the value is equal to Rx dot receive, and then we write okay. We'll find it later. And now basically what we are going to do is that we are going to join the two threads. Then that is really important. Otherwise, otherwise those thread, whenever you create a thread, basically you create a thread out of the main function. So basically your main function is still consuming and your threads are still operating. But if you don't join, that means your main function will not wait for your thread to finish and will close down immediately. So what we will do is that we will see how, if we remove this statement, how it does effect basically. So then we write our consumer thread, consumer dot join dot unwrap. That's right. Okay. And this basically finish our code. Now the easy part is to run it. Let's see how basically we run it. We do cargo run. So it says for I in okay, obviously because it should be 1, not I. And then we run again. It's compiling, and you see producing 1, consume 1, producing 2, consume 2, producing 3, consume 3, producing 4, consume 4. Okay, now what happens if we remove this statement? So what we need to do is to cargo run, and you see it just did 1 and it finished. It's not that your code is not running, your code is running, but your main function is finishing faster than your code is running. So that's why your main thread is not waiting for your producer and consumer thread to finish. And that's why you need to basically join. And what the join do is that it will join the threads to the main thread whenever they are finished. That means basically your main thread is waiting for your two threads, producer and consumer. Now, there are a few things which you need to know. Is that the producer thread sent integer down the channel that we have discussed. The consumer thread receives them and print them out. That we are doing it here. Now, because this is a single producer and a single consumer, you don't need synchronization mechanism like mutex. And this mutex will come into our next video when we are going to use either multiple producer or multiple consumer. Okay, remember, as this is focused on system engineering interview, you can get a follow-up questions like how would you handle multiple producers? What's the difference between bounded and unbounded channels? Or can you implement SPSC queue without using mpsc, maybe with atomics? All these questions we are going to focus on the next upcoming videos, so stay tuned. And SPSC is a very simple, powerful, and a building block for more advanced concurrency patterns. So don't forget to like, subscribe for more Rust interview prep and system programming tutorials. I will see you in the next video. Have a nice day.